Thanks for tuning in. You're watching ARIRANG News Break. I'm Han-daeun in Seoul. President Park Geun-hye has wrapped up her historic visit to Iran, and now much of the focus has shifted to the strengthened bilateral economic cooperation between the two countries. The presidential office expects new business opportunities worth over $40 billion thanks to the many MOUs inked during the trip. Kim Min-ji starts us off.
This sector expected to reap the biggest benefits from President Park Geun-hye's trip to Iran is construction. That aim is closer to winning the Isfahan-Avaz railway project, worth $5.3 billion, which will establish a 541-kilometer-long inland railway. On top of that, a consortium led by Daewoo E&C and Hyundai E&C is nearing a deal on a $2 billion oil refinery construction project with Iran's Baman Geno company. Other Korean builders are also working to win orders for the construction of railways, airports, and energy facilities, thanks to the 59 economy-related MOUs that were agreed during the trip.
Iran is planning to establish a plant worth some $200 billion over the next 5 years. Korea is expected to benefit in energy and petrochemical sectors, thanks to its outstanding technology.
This is another one of the follow-on achievements from the president's trip. SK Group says it will expand its global partnerships in the energy, ICT, and infrastructure sectors with Iran. After talks in Tehran, SK agreed to boost cooperation with the national Iranian oil company and Saipa, Iran's second-largest auto manufacturer. Hyundai Motor is also seeking to enter the Iranian market, while Kia Motors has resumed exports of parts to a state-run auto company. An MOU on maritime transport and port development is also expected to give Korea's shipbuilders a much-needed shot in the arm, as they have been suffering from eye-watering losses. Through these and other efforts, bilateral trade between Korea and Iran, which dropped to about $6 billion after international sanctions were imposed, is also expected to pick up to pre-sanctions levels within the next few years. The Korean government has also vowed to set up a $25 billion financing program for Korean companies working on infrastructure projects in Iran. However, as MOUs are not binding, the focus is now on whether they are fulfilled and, more importantly, to what degree, which is expected to become more apparent in the latter half of the year. Kim Min-ji, ARIRANG News.
South Korea and the United States are planning to discuss implementing an operational plan designed to counter North Korea's nuclear and missile threats. The South Korean Defense Ministry says the allies will discuss the plan at the Korea-U.S. Integrated Defense Dialogue in Washington on Monday. The so-called 4D plan, which stands for Disrupt, Detect, Destroy, and Defend, gives South Korea the right to launch a preemptive strike against North Korea's nuclear and missile capabilities. The South Korean delegation will be led by Deputy Minister for National Defense Policy Ryu Jae-seung, and the U.S. delegation will be led by Assistant Secretary of Defense for East Asia, Abraham Denmark. Now to the latest in the race for the White House. The path is now clear for Republican frontrunner Donald Trump. Trump has been declared the party's presumptive nominee after he won all 5 Northeast states in a primary last week, plus a huge win in Indiana on Tuesday. The victory prompted his arch-rival Ted Cruz to announce his ending his campaign. Here in Korea, Trump's overwhelming lead is raising concerns that his presidency could adversely affect Seoul's relations with Washington, as his idea of America First diplomacy contradicts America's decades-old foreign policy approach. Kwon So-ah has more.
South Korea might have a different relationship with the United States with Donald Trump in the White House. Concerns started to rise when the Republican frontrunner began making comments on diplomatic matters that have a direct impact on Seoul. Trump has stated that South Korea should pay more for U.S. troops stationed on the Korean peninsula. He even said that South Korea should be allowed to acquire its own nuclear weapons, a view that runs contrary to the long-held U.S. policy of trying to prevent the proliferation of nuclear weapons. With Trump running on an America First approach, Trump's advisors have also suggested he would want to renegotiate the South Korea-U.S. free trade deal, as they believe the FTA doesn't benefit the U.S. Seoul's foreign ministry has said on numerous occasions that it's not going to be drawn into making predictions about the U.S. presidential race, but noted that it's closely monitoring each of the candidates' comments related to Korea. However, experts say that even if Trump does become president, it's unlikely his foreign policy shifts will become reality due to the strong fundamentals in Seoul-Washington ties. Kwon So-ah, ARIRANG News.
Tomorrow marks Children's Day, and citizens will get to enjoy a long weekend as Friday has also been designated as a one-off national holiday. And the Korean government is working to boost domestic consumption this holiday. During a meeting with retailers, a trade minister said that starting Thursday, it'll operate a team that's dedicated to supporting businesses and resolving potential issues they may face during the holiday. Korea will also work to fuel domestic demand through toll gate exemptions and by offering free entry to museums and tourist hotspots. Retailers like department stores and supermarket chains said they're gearing up for big sale events to help revive consumer demand. And that's all for now from all of us here at Arirang. Thank you for watching.